from Handing the Shame Back, and welcome to the very first of our Q&A section. We've decided to put some of your questions into this video format so that you can look at your leisure and see if any of what's being asked relates to you. Please do feel free to reach out with any questions. Just contact us at handingtheshameback.org with Q&A in the subject line. Okay, so let's begin. Let's see what you amazing survivors have come up with already. One of the questions is, how do you recognise a child that's being trafficked? What do you safely do in situations when one realises they happen to see a child they suspect is being trafficked? Well, I think that's quite a multi-layered question, so let's just start. There won't be just a symptom that will show that a child's being trafficked. And remember, because this is child sexual abuse underneath it all, they may show signs like they're more sexualised than they should be for their age, or they are acting out around other children sexually, that they perhaps don't want to be around a certain person. You notice it play in their behaviour. Regarding trafficking, you'll probably notice more of in terms of behaviour, more of a withdrawn, compliant, head down type behaviour. But again, that could be connected to so many other different things. I don't know that there are particular ways you can recognise. I think there's a cluster of symptoms, and it's important to look at what they could be. So I know that in my book, Keeping Kids Safe, there's a section on child sex trafficking, and there are symptoms that we can look at, and as I'm recalling some of what they are aligned also with child sexual abuse. So it's important, I think, to recognise that. No straightforward answer there. When you realise that they are being trafficked, the first thing you must do is try and keep them safe if you have autonomy to do so. If you don't, then you need to pass this information on to authorities or someone who can take action. That might mean that you take a photo of a number plate. It might mean that you reach out to someone who does know the child and find a way to offer some solution. But don't do nothing. As a safe adult, it's important that you do take some action. Be aware that you can also ring the police and other agencies, whatever country you're in, to find out steps that you can immediately take. I think it's really important to proceed with caution, but do proceed. Hope that helps. Second question, I was wondering what to do since I know that something happened in my early years besides the physical violence that I remember very well. And I mean something sexual by my father, but I don't recall it. I have vivid dreams of it, dreams that date back to many years ago, but not real memories. So I feel stuck in this limbo, feeling great pain with no certainty of what really happened, and I can't move forward. Hey, I'm sorry that's so hard for you. It sounds really painful. First up, never force anything. When your mind is ready to deal with this, make no mistake, it will surface, it will become conscious to you, it will become apparent to you. Never need to go searching or digging. When you're ready, it will appear. Now that might seem like a really simple answer, but the truth is, it's because it is that simple. Please follow that. Secondly, you know, the limbo is horrible, the pain is terrible, and I think it requires you to be gentle and as self-soothing and self-caring as possible. So it's not the time to start loading yourself up with lots of action or activity. It's actually the time for you to actually nurture yourself, look after yourself, and protect yourself from added stress. You just don't need it. Okay, those are my really simple, straightforward responses. Please do take notice. When you're ready, this will appear. Until then, you're not ready. Okay, right. Next question. I grew up in Auckland and I've had a different but also traumatic childhood, and now custody family court battles with an ex who gained full custody of our child. The nightmare for my child has triggered many painful memories from my own childhood. I don't really know what I'm wanting by connecting. Well, I do. I think you're just wanting to know you're not alone and that this horror is real, and that all you can do is advocate and be as protective of your child as is possible. We often attract to us as survivors people who reflect how we felt about ourselves as children, and so that is not uncommon. I did that myself as well. Don't be too hard on yourself, but do whatever you can to advocate, protect, and keep your child safe. You're doing the best you can, and I would be seeking the guidance and support of a therapist if you can at all possibly to do that. I think it's really important. If you're in Auckland, New Zealand, we do have ACC, which is free counselling sessions, so maybe start looking at that. There are also support groups out there for people who have experienced trauma in childhood. So maybe go to the Citizens Advice Bureau and have a chat to them. They will have some options for you. Much love and light to you. Sorry it's so hard. Number 4. Another question. This cycle of abuse is so hard to break from my own childhood to now with my children. I'm really struggling with my feelings. I get triggered all the time when I read books like The Body Keeps the Score. I get tearful when I listen to other people's stories, but my own story doesn't feel like it's mine. It's as if it's happened to someone else. I feel emotionless. Oh, you amazing person, you. Hey, that's simply your mind protecting you. You're a bit dissociative, which is important because it's protecting you from facing fully into it. You're detached from it so that you're not feeling it as deeply as you can. There's a reason for that. You're not ready to. So again, try and think about what you need right now to get through each day. And if each day feels too hard, just the next hour. And if that's too hard, the next 10 minutes. Don't load yourself or layer yourself up with lots of extra demands. But I don't know whether you should be looking for information that is going to trigger you. Just allow it to surface if it's meant to be there. It's really, really hard, I know, but you may need to do some journaling. You may need to speak to a therapist. You may need to get it out of your head. And the way you do that is varied. So it could be throwing rocks at a cliff. It could be, doing some sort of physical activity so it's released from your body. Grounding yourself is also helpful. But please, if you're detached and if you're emotionless, it's simply because your mind wants to protect you. So don't force anything. I hope that is somewhat of an answer for you. Right, last question. I wanted to ask if you've ever heard of a case like mine where the abuser took a polygraph test and was found innocent, even though he isn't innocent. Thank you so much for your help. I truly hope you'll respond. Oh, handing the shame back has been one of the most helpful things in my struggles. I'm so grateful for everything you do. Thank you. That's beautiful words. I haven't heard of a case where a polygraph was taken and it was lying. A person lied, but I do know the nature of these predators is to lie, so that's more common than not. And don't be caught up in the semantics of it. They're going to lie because they don't want to admit or accept or take any accountability for the horror they put you through. So, always going to lie. Get used to that, but It doesn't mean you're not believed. It doesn't mean we don't stand with you. And thank you so much for sharing. So as you can see, amazing survivors out there, we're starting to run this every few weeks. So if you have a question, send it to contact us at handingtheshameback.org, and in the subject line put Q&A, and that way me, Gloria Masters, will get to it and include it in our next round. Love and light to everybody. We stand with you. We believe you, and we see you.